Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Cosmonator. It's apparently like a shoot-em-up game crossed with the RPG mechanics, which is kind of interesting. I've been playing a boatload of Nova Drift lately, and this game floated into my inbox. Apparently it came out in early access a while back, and then out of early access back in January? And so I'm not entirely sure exactly what this game entails, but it looked neat enough, and considering I've been playing so much Nova Drift, I'd branch out a little bit and try some other games kind of in the same general vein. So, introduction. Welcome to Cosmonator. This tutorial will guide you through the game's first few missions. Feel free to deactivate it in the settings menu. If you need more specific information, or if you want to find out more about advanced features, you can check out the full instructions in the game's main menu. Okay, so, let's see, what do we got? Gauntlet, no. None of these are interesting. Okay, this is the star map. From here, you can select which mission you want to play next. At the bottom of the star map screen, you can see some information about the currently selected missions, such as the duration, bonus cash reward that you'll receive if you complete it, beat a mission with 75% health remaining, and you'll receive an extra challenge reward. Cool, let's give it a go. Please tell me Nova Drift gave you a shmup addiction. I actually really like shmups. I used to play a ton of them when I was a kid. Galaga was one of the first games I ever owned, and I played a buttload of it. Unfortunately, my reflexes have always been kind of garbage, so I'm not exactly very good at most of them. Oops. Okay, we're gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna turn down the sound, because this is probably gonna get kind of punchy. But no, I love me some shmups. I just don't like it when they're too hard, because I can't play the really hard ones very easily, and I don't have the patience for them most of the time. I'd like to play some of the, like, the more, like, recognized ones, or some of the really, really cool ones. There's some, like, old PS1 era shmups that looked amazing, that used, like, you know, kind of early level, that used, like, early level 3D to actually kind of interesting effects. You know, flying along giant helicarriers and stuff. I think you usually played as, like, a giant mech and stuff. And so, I'd like to go find some of those. And then, also, there's the really, really obvious, like, you know, gimme ones. Like, oh, shoot, what's the one where you, the most famous one where you switch between, like, light and dark mode? Because I want to say Donkey was, like, talking about playing that a while back. And, like, that sort of thing would be kind of cool. The PS1 shmups were great. I think that's because, like, that was the last time when, like, larger studios were working on PS1 shmups. That was, like, one of the last times when full studios were working on shmups, as opposed to, like, you know, small studio projects. Because I find most shmups nowadays are made by, like, one or two people, which actually isn't a bad thing, and you end up with some, like, pretty rad stuff. I don't know how big the studio was that made Jonestown. Jonestown was pretty cool. Unfortunately with Jonestown, it was brutal, by, like, that final level, and I couldn't bring myself to continue with it. See, I always loved Einhander. Oh, yeah. I haven't heard of most of them, to be totally honest. That's part of the reason why I also don't do a whole lot of shmups. For me, it was like Steriden, Nova Drift. I play the newer stuff when I can. Let's see. So, victory, challenge complete, level complete, challenge complete, combat cache, blah, 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 rank modifier. Okay. That's more information that I can learn later, probably. Okay. You'll notice that you earn some cash as a reward for finishing this first level. Cash is awarded for every enemy kill, and you also get a bonus cash reward for successfully completing a mission. You only get the reward the first time you complete the level, but if you ever need some extra cash, you can always go back and play them for extra stuff. Got it. Okay, now that you've earned some cash, go to the shop screen in the main menu and upgrade your ship before playing the next level. Level 1 upgrades. This is a basic level 1 upgrade shop where you can buy some basic upgrades for your ship. Most items can be upgraded more than once, becoming more powerful. The more you upgrade them, more powerful the more you upgrade them. You can see exactly what effect an upgrade will have. Let's see. If you don't like something, once you've bought it, you can opt to sell it. Get all your cash back. Oh. You have a limited sell allowance, so don't go too crazy. Interesting. Well, shot spread, shot power, missiles, sideships. Let's grab sideships. Arms you with sideships that give wide supporting fire. Additional upgrades increase the amount of bullets that sideships fire. You can change your specific sideship weapon in level 2 shop. Let's do that, and we can't upgrade for now. So let's just do sideships, because that's helpful? I don't know. I don't actually know if the sideships were worth it in this case. But still. I might turn off the, let's see. I might turn off the tutorial. It seems like 90% of this stuff is, pretty self-explanatory. I'm afraid it's going to be one of those where I turn it off and then it turns out I actually needed it. That is not uncommon. People really like to rag on YouTubers for not reading the tutorial. But the problem is tutorials are really boring. And I don't know how many of you guys really enjoy listening to me slowly stumble over the tutorial dialogue trying to... Oops, I was not paying attention. Oh, shit, I've got a shield. That's cool. I wasn't paying attention and took a hit, but it actually looks like I've got a little bit of leeway before I actually go before I actually start losing health. That's nice, especially considering there's a cash reward for, you know, not taking too much damage. Or maybe I don't. No, I don't. Health is on the right. So what's on the left then? I don't know. We're still very easily within the threshold, so I'm not too worried about it. But no, doing tutorials right is hard. Personally, I'm a huge proponent of kind of including the tutorial in the base gameplay. You know, it's maybe a little bit too simplistic, but Mario is kind of the easy one. Destroy medic ships for extra life. Hey. So that's how we heal. But like at the same time, I don't need a pop-up to tell me like destroy med ships for extra life. Just have me kill a med ship just like that and have the extra life pickup just show up there. But yeah, Mario's setup is okay. So Mario is kind of a simplistic game, so you don't need to worry about it. Well, like, you barely need a tutorial along the way to begin with, but, you know, it's not like it tells you press A to jump. You just kind of press buttons until you exactly know what you need to do. And, you know, you slowly scale the difficulty in the game to the point where it's obvious, you know, well, it's not obvious, it's nothing ever feels like it's out of left field. Bad games tutorialize difficulty spikes to smooth them out a little bit. Good games ease you into it so you don't have to, you don't, you know, start losing your mind because, like, why is this suddenly really hard? And so I've always been more of a fan of kind of learn-as-you-go style gameplay, especially because I am a learn-as-you-go style person. I should probably not try and kill these guys. I want the money from them, but I don't think it's worth it. And unfortunately, the whole learn-as-you-go kind of thing makes me, I'm not gonna say bad at teaching, but, you know, usually I can kind of just pick up a game and more or less know exactly what I'm supposed to do for a while, until the mechanics actually start getting, you know, complex. Okay, optional missions, let's see, optional mission, Hangar Bay has been unlocked, branching off the central line of the main missions on the star map. Optional missions like this one are generally slightly harder than normal levels, available to play at the same time. Completing these side missions isn't required. Yeah. Okay, let's go shopping. We also have spells. See, here's where tutorials kind of may be worthwhile. So this is a level 1 spell shop where you can buy some basic spells to use in battle. At first, you only have access to level 1 spells. Later, as you buy and upgrade more spells, you will gain access to higher level, more powerful spells. To find out about any particular spell, you can select it in the info screen. Got it. Okay, so we got Flash, Firebolt, Decoy, Power Shot, Laser Bolt, Grenade, Spread Shot, Toxic Blast, Mark, Spirit Replica, Deflect, Venom, Seekers, Plasma Pulse, Reap, and Evasion. Let's grab Seekers. Okay, you bought your first attack spell. Use it in battle in order to do direct damage to enemies. Make sure to upgrade the spell further to increase its efficiency. In order to cast your attack spell, press X. And you can use S to cycle through your list of attack spells if you have more than one. Cool. All spells cost energy to cast. Okay, so that's the blue bar. And find out how much energy each spell costs to cast. That's fine. Upgrade your energy capacity and recharge rate in the shop. Each individual spell also has its own spell charges. You can only cast a spell a certain number of times before it runs out. Spell charges do replenish over time, but very slowly. Got it. Oops. Okay, I upgraded that a little bit, so that's fine. Let's go back to this. Do we want to do shot spread? Or missiles? Now, let's do shot spread. Okay, we're good. I'm not dropping any more frames. Good. I just have to be paranoid about that occasionally. So, okay, so Hangar Bay. Extra cash, duration average. I'm going to just do perimeter base, then we'll go do a side mission because, I don't know. Yeah, so I think I'm going to probably put most of my money into, I'm going to pump most of my money into spread shot. Just because most of the basic enemies are real weak. And the more, like, shot coverage I have, the less trouble I'm going to have mowing through them. Not that I'm having a whole lot of trouble mowing through them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let's see. I like the pixel art. This is, I don't know. This is an older feeling style. I wonder what it is. Like, so when I play a pixel art game, there's very definitively, like, modern styles. It's saying Seekers, but it actually isn't doing anything. It just says Seekers. Seekers! Thank you. Can I actually use my Seeker missiles? It doesn't look like it. I'm confused about this. That's the other thing. If your tutorial is either vague or, like, easy to kind of flip through, sometimes it's easy to miss this, like, direct information. It's part of the reason why I kind of prefer intuitive learning. Because once you've, like, learned it for yourself, it's really hard to forget. But if you're, like, reading a tutorial or whatever, and it's like, here's the mechanic, alright, let's move on. You don't, like, internalize the... Oh. Stream is dead again. God damn it. I just said... You know, is everything okay? And the answer is, apparently freaking not. And it's back again. And I'm wired in, too, so I actually have no idea what's going on. Dang. Well, my life. Ow. That's what I get for not paying attention. And my internet has been pretty good up until today. And then today it got kind of bad, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Hopefully it will remain stable. I don't want to have to switch internet service providers. I just moved into this house. I don't want to have to pay extra, because my internet, my ISP is, my ISP is included in my HOA fees. So if I have to, like, switch services or anything like that, that's actually going to, I'm actually going to have to sign up for a service that I have to pay for, as opposed to one that it's just kind of implicitly paid for. I don't know. These are real adult things that most people probably do not give half a rat's butt about. Okay. Huh. Fast-moving enemy bullets will automatically be redirected at random enemy targets if you can manage to deflect them with a gem-augmented deflect spell. If any enemy is marked, it will be prioritized for targeting. Neat. Okay, as you earn cash, your rank will slowly increase. When you reach higher ranks, you'll be able to access more advanced upgrades and features. Experience comes at a price, however. As your rank increases and you become more powerful, your ship also becomes increasingly costly to maintain. Percentage of the reward you get after each level is automatically taxed for the ship maintenance. The higher your rank, the more costly the percentage. This reward modifier is expressed in your profile information as reward mod percentage. Huh. That's kind of rough. Do you need missiles for Seeker to work? Oh, that's an interesting point, actually. Alright, let's get missiles to start. I've got a little bit more, so let's grab shot power as we go along. Let's see, wait, you're part of an HOA. I've heard nothing but bad things about those. Generally, same here. Let's do Hangar Bay. But I'm also renting a house, so it's less of a problem for me. HOAs are usually a little bit more problematic if you actually are trying to own the house, at least from my experience, or my observations. Because yeah, currently I don't have any CCRs that I have to actually worry about. Like straight up my HOA only cares if I like modify the property in some way. And considering I don't even go outside, I don't have to worry about it. Nope. I don't see Seekers working. It just says Seekers. I've got missiles. But it doesn't look like they actually seek. So what is an HOA? HOA is a homeowners association. This is a weird thing to talk about while playing a shmup, but that's okay. So it's a homeowners association. It's effectively kind of the equivalent of like a neighborhood watch, comboed with like, you know, a bunch of extra governing rules to make sure a neighborhood kind of hits some like base level of quality. So, you know, usually you'll see from like HOAs, like, you can't plant petunias in your garden because it'll look odd. And honestly, like, sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it's complete garbage. When I inevitably buy a house someday, I'm probably going to try and avoid one of these because half the time there's just horror stories about HOAs being like, your car is too old, we're going to find you into oblivion until you get a new car. Which is like super unproductive and kind of shitty. Or you might have like some power tripping old biddy that doesn't like the fact that you have friends over. And, you know, everybody must live in an antisocial, hermetic existence. Did the internet go down again? Really? Wait, seriously? They fine you for old cars? Oh yeah. Usually it's so you don't have like people in the neighborhood like fixing up old junkers in their front yard and stuff. But I've definitely heard of like HOAs that I've heard of HOAs that are like, your car is from the early 2000s. We only approve of the highest end. If your car is older than 2 years old, you get the boot. Even though like they can't boot you or anything like that. Uh-oh. I took some damage here. I don't actually do enough damage, apparently. I guess we gotta up that a little bit. But yeah, most HOAs kind of exist, I'm not gonna say outside the bounds of law, but most of them are kind of grubby random and, you know, really don't have that much tooth. But some of them can make your life kind of miserable if you don't know what you're doing, or if somebody there is particularly miserable on the board, I guess. I don't know. And most are just filled with normal, reasonable people. It's just every once in a while you get like a weirdo. And that weirdo does not want to let you live your life normally. So I read Reddit a bunch, and so it's not uncommon to read like horror stories about HOAs being, you know, trying to control things. Maybe a little bit too much. And so it's an interesting thing to read on, but a lot of times it's also like super terrifying of like, This is... Oh, god damn it. I did get shot there. I was just up to the 75% threshold, too. I need a little bit more oomph to my shots. Well, we might have to give this one another go so we get the bonus gash. Because I didn't grab it. Okay. But yeah, that rank modifier is painful. Maybe not that big of a deal, but painful nonetheless. Let's upgrade the spread a bit. Yeah, so I can get a little bit of extra cash here. How big is the spread? That's getting there. Oh, I can destroy that. Man, this just reminds me of Steriden. I don't know how many of you guys watched my Steriden series back in the day, but that game was fun. That game had bumpin' music too. I'm kind of disappointed the studio that made the game shut down, because that was cool. Probably my favorite shmup. Maybe, I don't know. Nova Drift is amazing. Nova Drift is better, but Nova Drift is a little bit more than just a shmup. Because it's also a roguelike and just like a bunch of other... I don't know. Nova Drift is fantastic. Steriden had a really cool visual style and an amazing soundtrack. And I've always like wanted to play more games that kind of had matched that level of like just rad shmup in action. Most I don't think I'm that close, unfortunately. Nova Drift is a masterclass on how to make interesting upgrade trees too. Like, I don't know. It's not exactly applicable to this game, but so obviously I play a boatload of like roguelikes, just because that's what my channel is, and one thing that I notice, I guess, is like a lot of roguelikes and shmups and whatever have no idea how to scale content in an interesting manner. You know, it's like, you got an upgrade, it increases your damage by 5%, and it's like, I don't care about that. And to a lesser degree, Nova Drift does that, but it kind of feeds them in limited ways, and it makes you choose between the upgrades in ways that make you kind of consider your choices, and then end up with like really interesting builds on top of that as you go along. You know, in a lot of these games, and I mean, this one looks like it's just going to eventually have it that I am the bullet hill and everybody else is just kind of trying to live through me. I mean, I'm already firing, what, 5 shots regularly plus 7 shots from my sideships. I'm sure that's gonna... Ow. I don't even know what hit me there. That must have been one of these regular shots. Unfortunately, there's something about the visual design for this game that makes my eyes, like, glaze over real hard. Fuzzy pixels? It kind of? I don't know. But yeah, so, like, most games don't do upgrade systems very interestingly. You know, just slight increases of damage, nothing major changes about your gameplay as you go along. And I feel like, for a game to have an interesting upgrade system, you need to have that, like, that run-changing behavior to actually make the game good. Ow, damn it. I think I get 1 health pickup here, if I'm careful. I don't remember from where, though. Let's see. Metroidvanias do it really well. When you get an upgrade, oftentimes it will, it will change how you play a little bit. Like, getting double jump in Hollow Knight really changes, like, how you move throughout the environment. Getting certain spells, you know, opens up whole new builds along the way. Let's see. I don't know. I might have to do this one again if I want to get the bonus. I'm probably not going to, just because. Yeah, no extra health upgrades here, unfortunately. Let's see. Well, that rank multiplier isn't that big of a deal yet. It'll get worse. So what do we do? Shot power, life capacity. I don't care too much about life capacity. We have missiles. We have missile power, rapidity. I'm probably just going to go straight down the shot upgrade thing. There's also, like, feats and master upgrades. Well, I guess let's just keep focusing on the main plot for now. Do my shots get bigger when I upgrade their damage? I think it does, actually. Oh, no. Word for a second, me dropping frames was a result of me, like, jiggling a cord. But no. Whatever it is beyond my control without, like, restarting my router. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. See, new mechanics and non-comparable choices. Greater than a math boost. Yeah. And sometimes math boost is good if you can give players enough math boost that there's, like, heavy variance. Path of Exile, I think, is one of the few games that, like, you know, not pure math boost, but very heavy math boost can really lead to a difference in gameplay and build. What other games do that sort of thing well? I mean, MOBAs do to some degree, depending on the MOBA. What game did that? I guess the game's dead at this point. There's a game called, was it Gigantic? I think it was Gigantic. Every once in a while when you leveled up, you got to upgrade one of your abilities, and it would change. You always had two options, and they were side grades of each other, and had like different. They were side grades of each other and had fairly different effects. I don't like that laser guy because there's not like immediately a warning for it. I guess don't just stand underneath him, but lame. Let's see, what other game? I really liked Fate, or roguelike Diablo clone. People have been mentioning Fate a lot recently. I'll have to take a look at it. I don't think I've ever actually seen what Fate is. Personally, the one that I'm actually looking forward to trying again at long last, well, actually, a couple of them. So, probably gonna end up playing Path of Exile this month just because. I like it, I'm just not talking about this game. It's a fun game, it's just there's not immediately anything for me to, like, focus on. Apart from just shoot enemies, avoid damage. That's usually how it goes with a lot of indie games. And it's a bad time for me to stop paying attention to what I'm doing. It's hard for me to read chat. But I'm finally going to be playing Torchlight 2 again, which I actually have never played much Torchlight 2. I played a bunch of it with my dad, but I don't remember it very well. And so, presumably we're going to be able to do like a series on Torchlight 2 soonish. And I'm like, yeah, I missed that game. It was a fun game. And like I want to play more of that. And I remember like a lot of the ability upgrades are more kind of small boosts, so you're encouraged to kind of build more generally, maybe? I don't know. Alternatively, Grim Dawn, because I'm probably going to end up playing Grim Dawn whenever the new and last expansion comes out. Because I believe that's coming out sometime in the next couple weeks, months. I don't know. What's Torchlight? Torchlight is it's a Diablo-like, made by Runic Games. I also made Hob and some other stuff. Tutorial boss time. Next mission is boss battle. Arm yourself well before proceeding. Find the boss battle to be a struggle. Go back and grind. Okay, do we grab a spell? Let's grab a spell that isn't Seekers, because whatever's up with Seekers. Yeah, whatever is up with Seekers, I don't know. We'll sell it. Yeah, whatever's up with Seekers, it ain't doing what I need it to. What's Mark? Duration's only a couple of seconds, though. Spirit Replica. Let's grab Spirit Replica. Okay, you've bought your first support spell. Use it in battle in order to give yourself a temporary advantage. Make sure to upgrade it to further increase its efficiency. Press C. You can use D to cycle. Oh, the reason why I couldn't use Seekers is because I don't know what button it is, because it's giving me the keyboard controls. Okay, controllers. Oh, boy. Okay, that makes this a bit harder. Because, yeah, it's X or S or D. What? Gamepad controls. Here we go. So, A and B is cast attack and support spells. And X and Y are the switches. Okay. So I've got that. So let's go back to level 1 upgrades. I guess we'll get shot power. I guess if I hadn't bought that spell, I would have been able to get a little bit more. Anyway, let's do Juggernaut. Gets me a gem, whatever that is.